How we doing, guys? Big Red here. Been pretty quiet for the last few years. It's not like a sudden drought, but sometimes you've got to go away, kind of focus on yourself. With the highs always comes the lows, and I hit the lows, and that's when I got less active on social media, less social, yada yada yada. I could bore you with the details, but I won't. So what I'm making this video for, well, not just this video specifically, but I'm going to do a chain of videos over the next 5 or 6 weeks leading up to a boxing match I've got with Joe Earp. Lost to Joe Earp couple of 3 years ago. I had to retire in the 5th round with an injury to my side. Well done, won't be happening again, Joe. Would I pinpoint that as the time where I hit that low? No, but I was definitely on a downward spiral. So basically, as I was getting at, these next few videos over the coming weeks will be to track my progress, and mainly to give an insight into mental health and the impact that fighting and training can have on a man's mental health, woman's mental health. But for the sake of my videos, I'm going to be focused on men's mental health. As a lot of you will know, a lot of you won't. At my biggest, I got up to 27.5 stone. A lot of weight to carry, but I was still active, I was still fighting, but I wasn't at the peak, I wasn't at the point that I needed to be. So as soon as the radio silence came on, spent a few months feeling sorry for myself, this, that and the other, as we all do. But then I got down to work. We were training, we were not really fighting. Obviously we've had the pandemic to contest with. Been down at Revolution, training with Neil. Absolutely fantastic gym, but I've kept my head down, guys, and I think that's a crucial part of mental health that people don't tend to understand. It's not about putting statuses up, it's not about this and that. People struggle in silence, guys. I know better than most, I know just as much as most, and I don't know as much as others. But you go quiet, you lock yourself away, and you hang on to whatever you've got left that actually makes sense to you. For me, that was training and obviously fighting. So just a quick recap, going over the past few years as to what's been going on with me. Obviously I have fought twice, pro MMA, well 3 times actually. I had my pro debut in MMA the year before, which I had to retire after the first round. Man, absolutely kicked my leg to bits, couldn't go on, couldn't walk. But going into that fight, I think it's bad to say that I wasn't confident that I was going to win, but a large part of me knew that I was jumping in at the deep end. I'd had one amateur MMA fight and then just jumped straight in at the deep end, pro against an experienced guy, Lazar Todev, absolute machine of a guy, and he did what he had to do, he played the right game. I came home, healed my wounds, the big wounds that was on my leg, absolutely crippled me for a couple of months, but eventually, fast forward, we got back in the gym, we got working, kept my head down, trained hard. Neil put absolutely loads of work in to get us to where we are now. I fought over a year ago, that was my second pro MMA fight, put him to bed 38 seconds, and then I fought in the December just gone, put him away in roughly about the same time. Jury's still out. The timer and the referee both had different opinions on it. But I just want to make a point out of that in itself, that when your head's in the right place, when you've got the right support around you, and when you've got the determination for what you're hungry for, anything's possible. So like I say, 38 seconds, 40 seconds, 45 seconds without getting hit, you know what I mean? You get out what you put into it. We're still building, don't get me wrong, but like I say, after all this silence, for all this time, I feel that it's time to come out, put a few videos out there, give you a bit of an insight into my life, my training life, and meet a few people along the way that training's also impacted their mental health, their quality of life, and also the detrimental effects that it can have leading up to a fight. When you put everything into a fight, your eating's got to be on point, everything's got to be on point, your sleep, everything. So I'm going to do a bit of a video diary about that as well. But for now, let's crack on, let's get the session done. and I'll catch up with you all later.
Okay guys, so now, like I say, full exposure. I'm going to try and be as honest as I can with everybody, because you've got to be honest with yourself. So a bit about my story. Early last year I was diagnosed with psychosis. After a few acute psychotic episodes, found myself in a really bad way. Crisis teams, yada yada yada. I won't bore you too much with that. But yeah, it was really a wake-up call. For those people who don't understand what psychosis is where you involuntarily see, hear things. Not always the nicest stuff. We still get flashes, but we've got it under control, both through training, working out, fighting, and obviously medication. When I was diagnosed with psychosis, when I first had the acute psychotic episode, yeah, it impacted my training. You kind of shut yourself away a little bit. But you find it just going out there, getting it done, talking to people, but only people you can trust. Like I say in these videos, I'm going to try and keep it real. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. If I say something that offends people, I don't really care. But yeah, don't be afraid to speak to people around you, but make sure you can trust that person. I seen something the other day, quite a decent quote. I can't remember it word for word. But it was basically, I want somebody to have my back behind my back. And the reason I've gone off on that tangent is because I've experienced it myself, and so have a lot of people that I know. That you can confide in some people, and it's secret until they find somebody else that they fancy telling. So don't be afraid to speak out, but make sure you can trust the people that you speak to, or a trained professional. For now, we're going to crack on. I'll catch up with you soon, guys. Good. Okay, guys, finishing up another session. Good day, productive day. Don't think that I just train once a week. It just happens that we're filmed today. Usually train 2 or 3 times a day. Weights, swimming, hot, cold, boxing, whatever's on the agenda. So yeah, just to recap, just to summarise everything. I'll give you a bit of an insight, a little part of my training. Don't want to give too much away for the wrong eyes that are looking. But also just to briefly scratch the surface on my mental health. Like I say, diagnosed psychosis, acute psychotic episodes, and it is a struggle, guys. Every morning getting up, do you know what I mean? It can feel like a struggle. I'm not alone, I'm far from alone. Mental health is massively on the rise at the minute, because we've got no freedom. That might be my opinion, but we're not free to speak how we want to speak, do what we want to do, walk how we want to walk, talk how we want to talk. So nothing that's going to change, so we just have to push on, work with it. To summarise this video, I don't really want to waffle on too much, but I just want to say, guys, like I touched on earlier, do you know what I mean? Don't be afraid to speak to the people around you. Shit, if you see me in the street and need someone to chat to me. Don't be afraid to speak to people. Don't be afraid to ask for help. I spent so much time being afraid to ask for help that it just keeps going down and down and down. And then when you finally do ask for help, it's not an instant fix. It takes time. We're still rebuilding. I mean, I'm nearly coming into 2 years on, and we're still only just getting the medication right. But that's with psychosis. For people who are just struggling with everyday to-day life, like I say, don't be quiet. It's okay not to be okay, but it's not okay to stay that way. So I'm going to finish up. I'm going to get myself home, have something to eat, chill out before this afternoon's training session. I'll try and get a few clips of that in there for you. But until next week, when I put the other video out, everybody, I hope you take care. I hope for a positive today and an even better tomorrow. Look after yourselves, guys. Peace.